of it?
Correct.
Then why are you in such stupid clothing?
How do you play the didgeridoo?
Now, don't tell me that you can play the didgeridoo.
Oh, no, Carol. But I know a man who can. This is didgeridoo player Nigel Warwick. Nigel, what is a didgeridoo?
It's the branch of a eucalyptus tree from Australia. There's a hole all the way down the middle, which is made by termites.
Oh, so you let the insects do the work?
You let them do the work, yeah.
How do you play it? Will you show me how?
You make the sound with your lips.
Uh-huh.
And it gets amplified by the wood and comes out the end.
You just like a trumpet?
A bit like a trumpet, but your lips are more floppy. So, yep. Can you do that?
I'll have a go. I'll have a go. That sort of thing.
Fantastic.
Can I play the didgeridoo now?
There's one other thing you have to be able to do.
What's that?
That's called circular breathing.
Now, has that got anything to do with this glass of water that you've got here?
It has.
I heard about this. What do I do? Show me.
First of all, take a mouthful of water and put it in your cheeks. Now, can you slowly blow the water back into the glass? Yep. And can you sniff while you're doing that? Right, so there's air going in your nose and there's water coming out of your mouth. So now...
That's circular breathing?
If you could do that with air going in your nose and air coming out of your mouth, that would be circular breathing.
Why can't I run out of breath? You show me how to play the didgeridoo. Take it away, Nigel Warwick.
Now, how do you keep a cool head?
Suave and sophisticated.
Yeah, dress in really fashionable designer labels. Hip clothing, yes.
Hip. No, actually, what I mean is, on a hot day, how do you keep your head cool? Well, to show you one device which has been looked at in the research laboratories of the Vorderman Corporation, here we have a solar-powered hat fan. You can see the fan here at the front of the hat. Simply place it on the head and it keeps your head beautifully cool. But how does it work?
Well, obviously the fan's blowing cold air. If you don't mind me saying so, it's a bit of a naff howl, this.
No, it isn't. No, it isn't. Here's a thermometer. The temperature in the studio is 29 degrees. Very hot indeed.
Yes.
Put that in front of the fan and you say that the temperature will go down.
Of course it will.
Of course it will. It's obvious, isn't it?
All right.
You don't need to be a scientific brain for that, do you?
Yeah. Let's have a look. Still 29 degrees. What do you say about that?
Because the fan's small, you need a bigger fan,
it's
obviously.
It's just a toy fan.
A toy fan.
It's scientific, isn't it?
Yes.
Have a look at this fan. Switch this on. 29 degrees, you agree with that?
Yeah.
Put it in front of the fan. You say it should go down.
Yes.
Yeah, of course it should.
No, it isn't, actually. It's still 29 degrees.
And then use a bigger fan.
Yeah, so obvious.
It's pathetic.
Well, here's a bigger thermometer and a bigger fan. See the temperature? Let's see what happens to it. No, not a lot's happening, actually, gentlemen, is it?
All right, explain.
All right, then let's do a little experiment. Lick your hand and blow on it. What do you feel?
It's cooling where the spit is.
Your hand's getting colder. Exactly. Now then, what's happening is evaporation. Let me put this fan on. I've got two thermometers in front of it. And as we saw before, nothing happens to the temperature. However, if I put water onto the bulb of the thermometer, the wind that's passing over it evaporates the water. Now, to do that, it needs to draw heat from the thermometer. Therefore, it cools the thermometer down and the temperature goes down. It's just like if you're standing on a beach after you've been swimming and you're wet and the wind's blowing and you feel really, really cold. Or on a hot day, if you've got a sweaty face and you fan your face, what's happening is the water is evaporating and cooling your head down. So that is how you can keep a cool head.
Like I said, it's a good howl, this. Here's another one. How old are your marbles? Marbles, in fact, go back a long, long way. I know this because I come from a long line of marblers, and I only have to consult the Dinage family album. Back to the 16th century, William Dinespear, that was his name. The other was a quill name. And in the 16th century, they used to use cherry stones to play marbles with. They'd eat the cherry and then spit the stone into a cherry pit or a hole in the ground. And there is a reference to this in Shakespeare's Twelfth Night. That's how they played in the 16th century.
Is that the original marble, then?
No. Marbles go back to ancient Greece and Archimedes, who leapt from his bath screaming, "O Miller, O Miller."
Why did he do that?
Because that was the name of his game, which was actually nuts. And you had to knock nuts out of a circle. And if you did it, you kept them.
So is that how old marbles are?
No, it goes back to the ancient Egyptians, the pharaohs, and Tutankhamun. Here is Tutankhamun. And in those days, they used to play with pillars and marbles made of clay, which they would roll through the pillars like that, trying to get themselves points. That's how the pharaohs used to play.
The original marble, then?
No, even that isn't the original marble, because the original marble goes back to the cavemen and Barney Dine Stone.
No.
Yes, and the cavemen used to play with perfectly smooth, perfectly round pebbles.
But how did they get them so round?
They got them that round and smooth by dipping them in streams and rivers, and the water would make them perfectly round. And they found pebbles, marbles like this in very old caves in Austria. So that's how old marbles are, right back to the cavemen.
I thought you lost your marbles years ago, Fred. How true is a fairy tale? Take, for instance, the story of Rapunzel, where the prince climbs up Rapunzel's golden hair. What do you think? True?
Rubbish.
No, it couldn't be true. It couldn't possibly be.
Well, the question is, how strong is hair? Now, I have a human hair here. Can you see that there?
Yeah.
And how strong is it? Well, let's add a weight of 25 grams and see how it takes it. No trouble. Another 25 grams, maybe. 50 grams. It's starting to stretch. I'll add another 15 grams and it breaks.
See,
So-
I told you it couldn't be true.
well, on its own, hair isn't very strong, but in combination, now here we have 4 strands of hair plaited together. Look, there's already 75 grams hanging from it there. I can add another 25 grams. Look, and it's still showing no signs of stretching, let alone breaking. The key is in the plaiting, and in fact, that's how string is strong. It's exactly the same thing. String is just a bunch of strands plaited together. It's the plaiting that makes it strong. So how true is the story of Rapunzel? Join me for a serious scientific experiment in fairy tale land. And in fairy tale land, we find the wicked warlock, played by Fred, holding the beautiful Rapunzel captive in his tower.
Oh, my prince, my prince.
And it's the job of the handsome prince, played by me, to climb up Rapunzel's hair and save her. Now, I'm taking no chances. I have my safety crown on, and I'm actually on a wire. So, Rapunzel, Rapunzel, let down your golden hair.
But my hair is brown, Prince.
Oh, Carol, that'll do, that'll do. Let that down.
Oh, OK. There it is.
Ah! Oh, fine. Right, can I climb the tower? I'm coming. Fear not, beautiful maiden. Oh, my word. Fred, don't cut that, Fred. Fred, don't cut that.
It won't cut.
I am coming.
Down.
Naughty, naughty.
My princess.
Wicked one, oh, my prince.
And that's how true a fairy tale could have been. And that's how... Whoa! For now!
How?